Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Empower You Crown Up, where we know that this is where we are empowering minds so they can live empowered lives. And so today we're going to be talking about confidence. When we think about confidence and just think about yourself being in the spotlight and just understanding your worth and just who you are and whose you are, which brings us to the scripture of the day, which talked about 1 John 4:19, that talked about we are loved because Jesus, he first loved us. And just knowing that God first loved us, that's why we're able to show love. It's just so important. But it also shows that we have to take time and pride in ourselves and loving ourselves because you can't give something that you don't have. And it has to be something that you're practicing day in and day out. And, people are always looking at you. They're looking at you, what you say, what you do, how you act. And so, if you're asking or requiring something of someone, you have to know that, first of all, you got to lead by example. And if you're not leading by example, then just trust and believe. Ain't nobody listening to you unless you're leading by example. And that is just so important to know that if you want to receive more love, then you got to give more love. Whatever it is that you want, it starts with you. You got to start manifesting what you desire and what you truly want in your life, which is important. So, as you guys know, IMW is now transitioned to Empower You Crown Up, which I'm so excited about the transition. We just wanted to make sure everything was aligned purposefully for our audience and what we're doing. And, people ask me about the transition. I'm like, you have to move with the flow. You have to do what you got to do. And so, being in this realm, mental health, which is so important, and people don't realize how important your mental health is, but now people are starting to see more than ever that it was just time to know that, your purpose. And when you know your purpose, you can operate and you can sleep at night. But for me, it was all about just helping, empowering our youth, empowering our parents and our young adults, and just letting everyone know that you're not alone. And there's times in life that we're like, wow, what do I do? How can I move forward? Because things happen. But the key is that you got to get back up. You might fall a million times, but at the end of the day, it's about you getting back up. And so my question to you is, are you getting back up? Are you staying down? Are you throwing a pity party, or are you getting back up? Okay. So if you haven't started following me, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's all aligned. Empower you _crown up. Okay. You can't forget that. Make sure you follow. Leave a contact, whatever you need to do. Follow, like, tag, all that good stuff. Follow me. I do follow back. I have my team that does that for me. But I'm just excited today. Honestly, today is a blessing, a blessed day. Yesterday was 9/11, and it just really shows that in the midst of so much, like, I don't know about you, but I will never forget what I was doing on 9/11. And, we're still alive. We are still alive, but there are so many people who are not. And I think it's just important for us to make sure that we stop and honor and cherish those who have lost their lives, and just sacrifice so much. And I think it's also important for us to just stop and remind ourselves of having an attitude and a mind of gratitude, because there's so much going on in this world, and I'm finding people are being just heartless, just truly heartless. And I say that because there's just so much people, they don't stop checking with other people, see how people are doing. And just like we're giving our children mental health days, which I see a lot of people are starting to do that now, we got to make sure we check in and give ourselves mental health days. Make sure that we are saying, you know what, check in with yourself. If it's a day you're like, I'm not feeling it, I'm not out here, take a break. Go take you a walk, get you some fresh air. Do what you need to do for you. So that leads us to our quote of the day. Okay. This quote is by Diane von Furstenberg. Okay. It says, confidence makes us beautiful. And it comes from accepting yourself. The moment you accept yourself, it makes everything better. So again, confidence makes us beautiful, and it comes from accepting yourself. The moment you accept yourself, it makes everything better. And it's just important to know and understand that confidence is from within. But there are some things that can happen outside of our walls of well-being that can cause you to wonder, like, am I really as strong as I would like to be and as strong as I desire to be? And the question to that, or the answer to that is, are you? And so it depends on what we're looking at. Are we allowing life's challenges, things that happen in life to stop us from really truly being great? Are we basing this based on different life experiences or things that happen in our life? What are we basing that off of? And the reality of it is we cannot allow things that are outside of our control to falter us or alter our confidence. I talk to many people on a daily basis, and they will tell me how they allow their parents or people, family, friends to, alter their thought process. And my thing is, I'm not saying don't listen because we do need to listen. We need guidance and leadership and things of that nature. But if you're excited about something and you see the vision, the thing is, if you have a vision, go for it. So many times in life, we don't do because of what someone said. At the end of the day, if you don't do it and you don't take that leap of faith, you can't look back and be down on yourself or anyone else but yourself because you allowed yourself to not take that leap. And it could be great or it could be really bad. You could fail at it. And that's the thing. But if you fail, at least you tried and you gave it your best. And you're not sitting there like shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? And so at the end of the day, I think it's just so important for us to say, what is it that I really need? And just check in with yourself. So today, in the midst of talking about confidence and just really being in tune with yourself, in the middle of the spotlight and just knowing that, what you desire, speak it into existence, and you can have whatever you desire to have. Life is full of many ups and downs, many trials, many tribulations. Like I say all the time, it's a roller coaster, but we got to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing through. We have to keep pushing ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. Check in with yourself. Do what you need to do. I saw the other day one of my stories, she posted how she got out of her mind of not running because of her knee pains. And she just did it. She ran, I think it was like 2.5 miles, 3 miles, 3.5, and she did it. And I'm like, wow, that's so inspirational because I'm like, I need to get back out there. And when you run, you add years to your life. And, life is hard enough. I challenge you, who can you check on today? Who can you see? Who's on your mind? Who can you check and say, hey, are you good? Because I noticed that, hey, you ain't how you usually are. Do that. Check in with yourself and just really just know that as you check in on others and others are checking on you, that things will become more of that reality piece for you to say, no, I'm not good. I need some help. Or you know what, today I am good. And it really just depends on you. What is it that you need? What is it that you're looking for? And just understand that nobody's perfect. But also you gotta be realistic on what it is that you're asking for and what you desire. A lot of times people have unrealistic expectations because they haven't experienced certain things in life, but life's experiences will get you in alignment and make you say, "Okay, this is what I need, this is what I desire." And so I challenge you to spend some time with yourself and check in with you to say, okay, this is what I truly, truly need. And this is what I truly, truly desire. So when we're talking about that confidence in your spotlight, I think it's important for us to understand that we have to have a positive mindset. We have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, make sure that you accept you, that you are letting go of everything that was and focusing on what is, and that you are checking your circle. Okay. I cannot say that enough. You have to check your circle because if your circle is not with you, alignment, pushing you to be great, on those days that you have low moments, they're gonna be like, just go ahead and, drown yourself or whatever the case is. Because sometimes in life we feel like we're drowning, we're doing too much, or we just feel like I can barely keep my head above water. And that just means that you need to take a break and then jump back in. That don't mean you need to quit and give up. And so who you have in your circle really does matter. Having positive people in your circle is even more of a plus. Having a positive mindset is amazing because if you want to see yourself win, if you want to see yourself go to the next level, you got to be positive because there's enough negativity in the world. What are you adding to this world that's not already in it? What are you doing to be that change maker? You know, fighting against the grain, doing things like never before, making yourself stand out. What are you doing? What are you willing to do? And I think that's important to understand that no matter what happens in your life, you have to push forward and you have to give your best, you know, and be realistic with yourself. You know, take a step back. If you need to take a step back, take a step back. If you need to take a break, take a break. As a mother, it gets hard. You know, parenting is hard. Um, Going to work every day, it's hard. And just really being in tune with yourself to say, okay, in the transition from work to the transition of motherhood, you know, if you need to sit in the car and take you a breather, do it. If you need to go take you a walk or work out, do it. Do what you need for you. Many times parents deal with, you know, mommy and daddy guilt. You know, they're making money, but they're not able to really spend as much time with their children. And so I challenge you to say, okay, what can I do? What is the time I do have? And like I tell parents all the time, it might look different for you. You and your household, it might be 15, 20 minutes every night. We have family time, or we sit around and read together, or do something together. Do what works for you. And you don't owe anyone any explanations on why it is that you do what you do. And life circumstances, things, you know, life is a funny way of doing things. And it's just important to know that at the end of the day, if you know that you have tried and you've given your best, that's all you can do. And keep pushing forward. So focus on yourself, focus on being that confidence and spotlight, focus on living your best life. And guess what? Those who are meant to be in your life will stay in your life, and those who are not, they will weed themselves out. So make sure if you haven't followed me, make sure you follow me on Empower You Crown Up. And also make sure that you are doing what you need to do, checking on someone because you never know what people are going through. And, you know, even in your adulthood, make sure you check in with your parents. I know that can be kind of hard, you know, when you have children of your own and you're living life, trying to keep up with your own parents and your siblings and just life, especially when you have a demanding career. But always make sure that you are good with yourself. Be good with yourself. Do what you need. Be realistic. Check in with yourself. And don't forget that you matter and you have to put yourself first in order to be great. Remember to continue to love on one another. God's really given us a great example. You know, he made sacrifices and sent his only begotten son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for our sins. He made a great example for us to know what love is like. And for us, we just have to keep pouring out, giving what we have. But the thing is, you can't give what you don't have. So make sure that you properly dig deep and do what you need to do to make sure that you are loving yourself so you can love others and just be that spotlight of positivity. So thank you guys for tuning in to Empower You, Crown Up, live your best life, and give your very, very best.